everybody is in some way involved in the industry. Because clothes are the need of the day. We all want to wear clothes. We all have to wear clothes. We want to be presentable. We want to be smart. You want to put on a good show. So the inspiration came from this ancient Indian art called kalamkari. It's centuries old, and it's still practiced in a lot of the villages in the south. However, it's a dying art form because with the advancement of technologies and the printing presses, it's sort of dying a slow death because the original way of doing kalamkari, it's a very, very tedious process. So it involves about 23 steps. Bleaching, dyeing, hand printing, hand blocking. They use natural fibers to create pigments to paint with. Things like, iron fillings are mixed with jaggery to get the black color with which they outline the motifs. And most of the motifs are representations or symbolic of Indian mythologies. So you'll see a lot of Indian epic related motifs like animals or war motifs or Hindu gods and goddesses that are portrayed in those paintings. So basically the inspiration came from there, and the idea was to revive this dying art, which we no longer see because technology has advanced so much and nobody wants to go back to the actual original way of doing things. So I wanted to revive that art and bring that back to India and of course to the international market as well, and get them to see that it is a really interesting process, but it's just losing its beauty, it's lost. It's one thing to want to have your roots represented in the collection, but at the same time I also need to see what the consumer wants. So it needs to be very modern and very in touch with what's going on right now, what's in right now. Everybody wants to see or wants to have what's latest in trend right now. So the beauty of the collection is it's the juxtaposition between the modernity and the history that we're bringing together. But I have to keep in mind the modernity and the fact that it should be wearable. It should be wearable. Even today, if you go back, if you look at the Indian sari, nobody wants to drape 5 meters of fabric on their bodies because it's a tedious process. So now you have stitched saris, ready to wear saris. You just put them on like a skirt and you're ready to go. So everything is so fast paced. So you need to meet exactly what the consumer wants, and hence we've maintained that balance of modern silhouettes with our Indian roots. So this is a really fun take on the LBD, and so what we've done here is, this was a tough garment to create. It took days to put this together. So we've used the boning technique. So a lot of boning has been used here, which is all hand stitched first and then we machine stitched it. We also have used this embroidery, which is called zardozi in India. It's material called zari, which is stitched together. It looks a little bit like metallic gold, but and this is all hand embroidered. So all the artisans back home have hand done each and every motif on it. There's a little element of kalamkari here as well, which is again depicting the Indian Hindu gods and goddesses that I was talking to you about earlier. And it's cool, it's avant-garde, it's a really fun take on the little black dress. So this is a bardeau that we've used. We've used unbleached jute cotton for this fabric. So it's an interesting thing that you should know. The fabric is actually soaked in a mixture of cow dung and another solution and left for about 48 hours for it to get this off-white color. And then it's dipped in cow's milk so that the pigments, the dyes, don't mix with each other once the motifs are created. And then they're washed off for another 2 days to get rid of the odor of the cow's milk. You could wear it without the turtleneck, you could wear it, you know, just as a top. You could layer it in the cold with the turtleneck, you could wear it with a skirt, with a pencil skirt, with trousers. It's a very versatile piece. I think you can have a lot of fun with it.